Daily Dems doing the work, making noise, and fighting back, day 148. Anti-Democrat leftists have been out in force today. Hopefully this post is the respite you need. Of course, we're starting with Lizzie Fletcher because she is this week's repping the rep. Last week, she and Brittany Petterson led a letter to Scott Bessent, and by 19 of their Dem Women's Caucus colleagues, raising concern about the pink tax on tariffs, which I didn't even know was a thing. It's the first day of the third week of the Democrats' Daily Blueprint. Today's episode is very heavily about Iran, and here's what I learned. Knew that the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau was no longer protecting consumers. Didn't know they dismissed 18 lawsuits. Or that Cara Petterson, the enforcement chief, tendered her resignation on June 10th. Her resignation letter, she said, "I have served under every director and acting director at the Bureau's history, and never before have I seen the ability to perform our core mission so under attack." And I learned that our Virginia executive branch nominees, Abigail Spansberger, Ghazala Hashmi, and Jay Jones, are on a bus tour. So tomorrow night, the DNC is hosting a messaging training on reproductive rights. You can sign up here, which you would have gotten in an email if you subscribe to the DNC, or you can text TRAIN to 43367. If you want to volunteer to help Virginia, text Virginia to 43367. I hope this convinced you to start watching the Daily Blueprint. Christina Rogers' fiancé, Mostafa Rezazadeh, is Iranian and he's struggling to get a visa. So Garamendi is working with the U.S. Embassy in Turkey. This puts real faces to the travel ban. Kisol Barranco was horrifically kidnapped by ICE, and Dave Min is making sure we know he's Republican Young Kim's constituent. Today, Rep. Jamie Raskin and Senator Dick Durbin held a bicameral people's hearing titled Defending the Rights of the People, States and Congressional Allies Fight Back Against DT's Constitutional Abuses. And I even had a follower who watched the whole thing said it's a must-watch. Jim Himes explains why Congress should have been consulted about Iran, and why all of this stemmed from DT removing us from the Iran nuclear deal. If you're at all wondering how DT's actions in Iran are not the same as Obama's, this is a must-read thread. Mike Levin breaks down all the disinformation you might have heard on the subject. And finally, Elizabeth Warren, Tammy Baldwin, Brian Schatz, Jackie Rosen, and John Hickenlooper rented out one of the small theaters at the Kennedy Center and invited Jeffrey Seller, the producer of Hamilton, to host a gay pride concert tonight. A lot of people on social media don't seem to understand how this is resistance. It embarrasses DT, it makes noise, and it shows the importance of queer culture in every resistance movement. I could not love this more. If you made it to the end of this post, comment with at least 7 words for the algorithm and a pink bow, because I wouldn't have known about the pink tax on tariffs. If you watched or read any of these stories, comment with what you learned. And a bus, because we love a good old-fashioned bus tour. Our voices are a superpower, but only when we use them.